with that working, hopefully. Lol. Okay.
Oh.
We had quite an interesting session last week. Again, always nice to see what canvas can be painted with the right actors. So, a few revelations. One, Gords, you are not as distant from Tormodon as you might think. Indeed, it might have been the opposite. However, the presence that surrounds you is also what keeps you here for the moment. And your companion, the little golden wormling Calendula, well, is the second smartest in the group, and was now shown to you like this, with the fact that she was given a tongue spell to actually converse with you for the first time. Noticing that this is not a mere hatchling, but in fact already quite a well-spoken child. There were also some old wounds of Nolan that showed up in a neat little confrontation that totally wasn't phoned in. And yeah, solidifying perhaps the bond of the party and showing that you do have allies sometimes in strange places, depending on who you Alright, I'll do that filter for Yannick there so he can cling on to some form of anonymity, anomalousness. Alright, so
Anomaly.
yeah, you are phenomena. And copyright strike. Thank you for watching, everyone.
Yeah, that cracked me up as a kid every time. I'm old.
There, you went to the Grand Library, the true home of Nolan, let's say, in this city. Seeing that it is quite well maintained, saw some old friends, or at least one old friend at least, that still remembered you. Lots of new faces as well. And now the party embraces a new path in life to become herbalists in the Vergdalan Mountains. So that's it for the campaign, everyone. We'll be re-rolling characters now.
Oh, nice.
So yeah. Let me
You will
open
learn
some
of the
things.
legendary botanist.
Indeed. Too close to home for some, but maybe.
And they will just leave you like, botany? No. This shit's boring.
Yeah.
No.
Warrior, war, soldier, ah! A flower. Still. There's a dice being rolled. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I was wondering if he could generate a D30. He can, apparently, so.
Of course.
And you rolled a 30 on it. That's good. Thank you. So Black Lynn has just rolled a 30 on something, guys.
Black Lena's even.
Yeah, Black Lynn has rolled a 30. Yeah. Bella didn't do as well with her D 9,685. 58. We'll see what happens. Thanks for that. That really helps. I'll do a follow-up roll here. That's not bad either. Not a D30, but
I was curious, sorry.
that's all right. No, thank you for the input. I'll use it. He did something very good, very well. But all that frivolity. Oh wait, that would have been a lot more worse. Yeah. Please, yeah, just keep rolling demon dice and see how many you that show up. So 300 and I'll round that up to 350. That's easier to remember.
This isn't time to mention the actual demon dice being sold on Kickstarter now. They look amazing.
My Hidaya rolled. My HP I have now.
Okay.
Sorry.
Noted. Now, for expediency's sake, even though we might want to stall because Martin isn't here yet. And he's probably going to be stealing most of the contents of the library. But if there's anything else you would like to do here in these surroundings, then please do speak up now or forever hold your peace.
No.
Alright.
Not especially.
So, with various books on herbalism, you exit the Grand Library. And where will you be going now?
I had the Temple of Helios on my check note, I think.
Yes, Boris,
Okay.
you want to go to the Temple of Helios?
If there is one, of course.
Temples.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was one.
There was one, yes.
Ooh.
One of Pillar as well, if you really want.
It just burned down. We took too long.
The golden dragon appeared.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well. Right. So there is a Temple of Helios here. Still, I would say Nolan, roll a history check with advantage, and Boris, just a regular survival roll for me, please.
Survival. Oh boy.
Okay.
Oh boy.
So it is a little awkward, but Nolan, you are well versed in the origins of this city, and especially when it comes to a certain god of light, of Pelor. And this has been a bit of a friction in your mind, with Helios also being a lesser known but presumably older god of the sun. You have to scratch your brain for a while to but where is the Temple of Helios? You don't actually remember ever running into it. And then you've been looking at the scripture, you've been looking at the symbols of this religion for a while now. And you do remember. You do remember. There is something that could be misconstrued as a side entrance to the Temple of Pelor, it being the largest cathedral here, and that is saying something in a city of cathedrals and temples. And you remember seeing other symbols on the side of on the side of the Pelor temple.
Would they follow a path?
Yeah. Not too far again from here, as the Tormodon temple, again, this massive city square that dwarfs anything you've ever seen. An entire city could be built just at the center of this. Across now is the building you've been trying to avoid, the Temple of Pelor. You go around the side, and Boris, you only really see these white marble columns of this temple. It's only by Nolan's hand that you find suddenly a familiar symbol. Very plainly, above the door, you notice that marble has given way to stone as you reach the back of this temple. Above, plain and simple, the symbol of your gods. The doors themselves as well, much less adorned than anything on the rest of this building. So, you look, and these doors don't look to be used all that often.
Curious. I never noticed these symbols were actually part of the Helios religion.
Yeah, it's much less known.
Well, I'd say you first, Boris.
Okay, I try to open the door.
It opens, dust falls. And what you see is a path leading down, but there are candles lit on each step.
Hello?
Hello?
I pick
Hello? It echoes
Yes.
for a short while.
I pick up a pebble for everybody and cast light on it.
Okay, nice.
Your temple is dusty.
Well,
It's disused, let's put it that way, not
Yes,
dusty.
it doesn't look like anyone has practiced your religion in a while. It doesn't.
The candles are lit, so there must be something
it's
going on.
probably the most dustiest place in the whole. Well, apart from my apartment, maybe.
Do I see distortions in the dust or anything that shows that people have walked or entered here recently, or creepers or anything?
I will say make another survival roll then.
Survival?
Yeah, for tracks.
To see. Oh boy, I'm on point there today.
Yeah. So actually not that hard to spot. You do see that this place has been disturbed recently. Someone indeed has been. You also notice that the candles here, the candelabras, are thick with wax, like they've been replaced time and time again, but maybe haven't been cleaned. And you notice as well on the side of the walls here that are illuminated, you pick out, and it sort of catches your breath for a moment, Boris, as you know the temple in your hometown. You know the temple in Omatil as well. It was Omatil, right? Yeah. I just had to look for a moment. Sorry. The one in Omatil was more recent than the one you knew from your childhood, but this is very reminiscent of that old temple. You see old carvings, and immediately you know this is genuine.
I make a
Then-
symbol for Helios.
Right. With that, you passively, and some of you with, well, almost all of you with high passive perception, hear some stumbling down below. And you come down these worn stone stairs into, again, two double doors. But from afar, you can already see that behind these doors is light shining through the cracks of this old wooden door.
Are there only cracks, or can I see some sort of, I don't know, I'm a druid, so a hole or something bigger? where
Make your
possibly an animal-
make a perception check.
Do we still hear something besides the stumbling?
Yeah, you hear
Chanting?
the clattering. No chatting, no voices. You only the clattering of some pots and pans, some tin work, maybe a candelabra or a copper metal sounds. And Dario, there are some bigger gaps here on the side where there's a metal framing to the door, and the wood is sort of splintered and receded over the years. And there's a piece of it big enough for you to just look straight through.
I have a question. Do the symbols, or do I notice that the symbols represent a story of Helios as a god, much like the paintings in our churches?
Make a religion
Or are
roll.
they random?
Make a religion roll. Okay.
Yeah.
You realize that no, this is not a story. These are prayers. But because you rolled so absolutely fantastically, you immediately start noticing, very reminiscent to the scriptures that you've been reading, the syntax is the same. These are indeed commands given. These are words of protection. These are words of prosperity. These are words of support. And you realize that some of them are bigger, but others are smaller and smaller still. Hundreds and hundreds of prayers have been written to these walls over the years. And even 26, damn it. There
One of the things
is,
I'm good in.
yeah. In between all of this, you, in this somewhat small hallway, you focus on the smaller ones and the bigger ones, but then you notice a curve that goes from ceiling to floor in this hallway, and you look back and trace it back across this entire hallway. There is a single sentence written, and I will say, as you point this out to Boris, you can disseminate the meaning of this rather easily. It simply states, slay the demon. This entire hallway, just that single verse, that single command. And the rest are all prayers that have been chiseled in over time, but this is the oldest by far.
And do I have anything to relate to that? What they mean with the demon? Or?
I will say, as I've said when introducing this city, I will say you can roll history or religion, and you can do it with advantage, or you can ask Nolan to roll for himself as well.
Lower 10.
What do you say, Norton? You go history, I go religion.
Alright. Normal roll.
Yeah.
We're equally matched.
You are in the city of Illysh. The river Nish runs through all the way to the Southern Ocean. It is said to mean blood in demonic abyssal language. Illysh was the place where once a grand demon was slain.
So I deduce that this is the place of the slaying and the celebration of it.
Or perhaps the place where they sought refuge underground.
Yes. Can I deduce how old these markings are?
I will say, with what you saw before, this is reaching the edge of your knowledge of history. This is likely some of the oldest things you've seen, were it not for odd things on strange islands.
Yes. Okay.
And possession and visions and
Don't,
Yeah.
well, don't touch anything. This, I think we are at this point in the oldest place we've been so far without magic.
I mean, Nolan, don't touch anything. Look at the glowing pebble in your hand that I gave you.
I drop it.
Ding, 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 ding. At that,
Don't know.
you do hear a voice. Just a minute. I'm almost ready with preparation. I am not quite ready to receive people for any sort of communion. One moment. And you hear stumbling towards the door. You hear locks being unmade. The doors open. Yeah.
Before he opens the door,
Yeah.
I want to change into a spider or something so he doesn't know I'm there.
Very well.
And I
Easy
want
enough.
to ruse.
A giant spider. No.
Nah.
Right.
Sitting
so,
on top of a golden dragon.
Just a religious
Yeah.
place, guys. Don't worry. I
Helios.
don't expect a golden dragon duality.
I get a very eerie feeling about this.
all right. So you all see Dario disappear as a little spider. Are you clinging to someone or are you staying on the door?
Well, I'm staying on the door and I will maybe find a crack or a crevice.
Very well.
Wild shape.
There's like 4 spiders coming to you and asking, "Hey, where are you from?" Oh,
Yeah.
Also plot.
What up,
And-
Shino?
Dario is instantly eaten by a bigger spider. So you see the doors open, and you are immediately looking upwards, but there is nothing there. You look down, and you see this, what you first think to be a gnome, but then you look and it looks like a goblinoid creature of some kind. Hooded and wearing the robes of Helios that are far too large for him. Staring for a moment. Oh, there's quite a few of you. Very well. Wait. And he stares at Calendula for a moment, because we are accepting the fact that she's out in the open.
yes.
You're not here sent by those thugs of Tormodon, are you, to taunt me?
Peace, brother. I am also of the religion of Helios.
Hmm.
I was wondering what the temple would look like in such a grand place.
And you see him like squint his eyes for a moment, and the hood like falls off, and you can see like these big goblin ears coming from under the hood, and you see now. Yes, well, so you are.
I am Brother Boris. May I inquire your name?
Name's Squint. Yeah, because well, squint. It's the eyes.
Wait, as you have 8 limbs, or
Yeah.
Squint.
no? That was out of character. Sorry.
Yeah. Threading a fine line there with the fourth wall, you are.
Yes, I know. Sorry, been one of those days, and I'm heavily medicated, so I don't know whatever. Yeah, it's what.
Well, so that makes two of us.
Yeah.
So, and you actually hear him speak Draconic to Calendula for a moment. And she looks back to the rest of you and speaks back into Draconic. So you say, but there is plenty of flammable in here regardless. Alright, Val. I see you, and he points at Gourds. I'm still keeping my eye on you, and... Very well, Brother Boris. Welcome to perhaps the holiest place in Atara.
Thank you. I have never heard of this temple. It was so hard to find, so I wonder why is it such a holy site?
Yes. Well, please, come out, step inside, please. Your shoes. Thank you very much. It is very difficult to keep the dust out. Please.
I see. I noticed.
Yeah, and it opens up. And it is strange. The light blinds you as you come in. As you see, this is a fairly low ceiling. You are expecting some grand hall, but no. Because you realize, of course, it is under the Pelor Temple. This is not very high. This is even comfortable for those of you of the Dwarven persuasion. Or ex-Dwarven persuasion. And there is a blinding light at the center of this. There is a large circular dome almost, but the dome has been cut and filled. At the center, there is a large chandelier that is the origin of this immense bright light that mimics the sun. Around this sun, in the center of this temple, are chains wrapped around to contain it in the construction of the chandelier itself. Around it are benches, pews, but only a few. Some, the first ones, in the very circle, made of stone, and then a few more out of wood, and then a few chairs here and there, all in disrepair. As your eyes adjust, you see that a little further away from the chandelier, half in darkness, the ceiling is held up, but what look like armor-clad angels. Their faces not shown, and their exterior rather angular. Their wings themselves as well, very sharp and undetailed. You come on a pilgrimage. Very well. This is what remains of the grand sanctum of Helios. We were subject to some renovations in the recent past.
Well, about what you can expect from Pillar, right?
Yes.
They just built on top of it. Yeah.
Yes, well.
Pity.
It is a pity. More like it is heresy of the grandest sort, but well, yeah.
Especially if you know that the Pope is actually a douchebag.
Yeah. Think we are going to get along, you and I.
For sure.
Can I walk around the room and inspect the statues or any other objects I notice or something that pops into the eye?
Sure. I will say investigation or religion once more.
By the way, Boris, you had to break the chains, didn't you?
Don't break the chains. They are anything. They're keeping the thing together. Really, it's very
I
big.
think those are spiritual chains, Nolan. Don't scare people with that.
Yeah, there's enough
Are
vandalism
they?
happening here.
Are they really?
Hmm?
They are anchored some way, and they are limiting our Lord's power, I assume. But we still need to investigate further. I don't think, okay, this is a safe place, but we need to speak so openly about our discoveries, as they still need a lot of study.
But
But-
maybe these chains are the representation of the real chains, and by cutting them, you also free Helios. Who knows?
And
Let's
this,
first look.
no vandalizing the chandelier. I
Yes,
worked
indeed.
very hard. They've come
We
loose a
were
couple of
just
times
told,
already.
we were just told this is one of the most sacred places in the religion of Helios.
Yes.
I was unaware of this. You didn't know of this temple, so there is a reason why this is so hidden. So I would rather speak with Squid, our new friend here,
Squint.
and discover what this Squid.
There's an
Go
N in
ahead.
that.
Go ahead.
And see what this makes this temple so special and why it even was able to be forgotten.
No, I'll tell you why it's been forgotten. There's a fuckers upstairs.
There's a cathedral on top of it.
And how well we
Yes,
bear its weight.
So I rolled a 21 on checking the statues out.
Yeah. So, well, Boris, you do
Mhm.
recognize some of these designs from the scriptures. These are spoken of not as angels, really, but as sentinels and enforcers of truth, of method, and fact.
Mag ik een stonekunning rol doen om te zien hoe
Nice.
veilig dat deze tempel nog is? Of dat die op
Sure.
instorten staat?
Go for it.
But you said they were very detailed.
They are incredibly detailed.
Mm-hmm.
And
Can I deduce what I'm
yeah.
deducing as a person?
Mm-hmm.
In the sense that these are creatures that fought the demon and kept the dome up to keep the people safe?
So, you take a stroll around and you see Squint looking at you, squinting even. And, yes, very fine craftsmanship these. And he waddles on as you start to look closer. Gourds.
Dat is nog plus dubbele proficiency.
Okay.
Want zo werkt stonekunning. Maar
Yeah. Okay, because it's a history
plus
skill
echt.
check, yeah. So 20. What?
dat is
How
plus
many?
echt nog eens normaal.
Okay, so 23. All right, yeah.
Add your double your proficiency
Yeah.
bonus. to the check.
Boys.
So dwarven pride lies in agelessness of construction. To make something to last for the ages, and for it to be untouched by that age. You see an odd level of craftsmanship here at work. And there is a chill that runs down your spine when you realize that this surpasses dwarven engineering, but was not made by dwarven hand. And the fact that this entire place is worn by entropy more than erosion. It has been smoothed it has been sanded down by air underground. It is frighteningly ancient, and you have no doubt that if Pelor had built a temple, a cathedral, 12 times as tall, this space would shoulder it gladly.
All right. Yeah, convey that to Boris.
Okay.
So,
And I would not know of a race or a Sama living that has this ability.
Society.
So thank you.
yeah,
Society. Sorry.
things start
Maybe not.
fading. Like, your history knowledge isn't that great. You know of the Netaran Empire, which stood for 1,000 years. You know there were civilizations before that. But everything sort of always comes down to that void after the planar dawn. How many thousands of years? And again, this was not made by dwarven hands, but this was made by a civilization at its peak.
I respond to Gord and I say, Gord, I'm going on a tangent here. Eh? Do correct me if I'm straying off the path. These are sentinels of Helios. This is Helios at its peak power. Don't look at it as a statue, but as a living, breathing thing that kept people safe. And that still are doing just that, keeping a safe space open for the people of Helios.
That's pretty epic. And I will look at the statues and use Divine Sense.
Okay.
If there's anything celestial or something radiating from it.
Yes.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
okay.
I also convey that there's something celestial about these statues. You're completely right, Boris.
Do I know something
Man,
about the
those
source of power or something of these sentinels? Or
So
again, I'm
describing
going on
your...
a tangent. Do stop
No,
me if I go too
no,
far.
it's fine. So, Gord, you go inward and detect this, and there is a ripple that goes through this entire area, and you feel it reflecting immediately off of these statues. And Boris, you go closer, and you see these faceless things, these indeed mechanical things, but they are made of stone. They are stone. They are perhaps marble, but more rough. And for the briefest moment, you absent-mindedly brush over one of them, and you see dust and rubble crumble off just a single piece, and you touch metal. You don't immediately see something that were to power it, but just that tiny piece, just that moment, there is a vibration there. These things are not mere statues, and they are not standing idle. They are standing by.
How tall are they?
They hold up the ceiling. Right now,
Yeah,
they're
they're
in a
giant.
position. They are, well, there are maybe, because the ceiling itself isn't that high, because it was cut off. But
I'm picturing Atlas at the moment.
yeah, they are
Sure.
standing in an atlas-like, or a caryatid, whatever it's in English, position. They're probably like 20 feet tall.
I can Google it.
Yeah.
SS meter. Okay.
Yeah.
Divide by 3.
Yeah.
Still quite large.
Do you need a little boost, Boris? And I can take you up with my boots of flying if you want. to their face?
I assume we did a long rest.
No,
No, we haven't.
No.
We didn't.
No.
this is still the same day.
Or I can,
Uh,
if you have an hour, you can borrow my boots, or I can take you
Yeah,
up there.
wait. Squint.
Yeah. Oh, to play. Oh, why did you touch that? I have to.
No, wait.
Hmm.
Did
Yeah.
somebody of Helios ever pass by here who can channel his power?
Why would you ask, huh?
How far are you willing to trust me?
Make a persuasion
Yep.
roll. Or if you want to add something to try and persuade him, please go ahead.
I I have, yeah, urge is not just words. I have this sense, and with the info I gleaned from my friend Gort here, who sensed divinity in these statues, that I just need to inject light into them, and I can channel the light of Helios to at least make them shine brighter, and give you the light of Helios instead of the artificial torch you have up there.
Yeah. Roll persuasion then.
Can I insight check him to see if he's told us everything or if he's holding anything back?
The goblin?
Yeah,
Sure.
because the last time we were in a very holy place of Helios, there was like a demon there and stuff.
Yeah, there was.
I didn't get a demon ping from my divine sense, right?
No, you did not.
From the goblin.
You see Squint squinting at Boris, and oh yeah, and we're doing this all the way. He is hesitant, and he is considering what to tell. So yeah, he's not hiding it well enough that he is getting a little skittish, and at that he says, "And pray tell, why would one such as you coming in on the sun's breeze wish to suddenly be so interested in these that you think they need enhancement, huh?"
Can I sense what his intentions are? What kind of vibes do I get from him after that remark?
You roll an insight, see what you see out for what else you see.
Roll for vibes.
Clearly
Mhm.
very
Whoa.
proud noise.
Mm.
Hi.
I want
You
to, yeah. Mhm.
sense that he is still very much trying to figure out who the fuck you are and why you're here with some weird entourage with a golden fucking dragon, and suddenly you go straight for the prize. Not for the chandelier, but immediately you look at those statues and you realize that probably not a lot of people even care about the statues at all.
Is there some kind of, pupitre stand where I can lay the scrolls out, or?
There is, yes. It's a rickety old wooden thing. The only thing stone is in the center circle with a large bound sun at the center.
So, please join me, Squint, for a second. Nolan, if you would follow too, please. And
Oh,
I
yes,
go over
please.
there and I just take out the scrolls closed, put them down in the center, and reveal the logo or the emblem of Helios, because it's not a logo, it's an emblem or an icon.
He like reaches up and he runs to the side, grabs a stool and places it next to it. Crawls up. I see. Already making room for your first sermon, are you? Huh? Or are you taking over the place? Who do you think you are, huh?
I am Boris van
Oh.
Halt of the Helios religion, and in my studies in Omatil, I came across these scrolls very well hidden, locked up, and sought after by a demon.
Oh. Yes, I've heard of that place. The Sunstone, yes? Or at least some.
Yes,
Yes.
The sunstones are related to this, and now I see the sentinels, and I wonder.
Ah,
I'm not trying to destroy them. I'm not trying to remove them. I'm trying to inject them.
he's like
I do
reaching
keep
for
you-
the scroll, and he.
I do put my hand there.
Hmm.
This is a sign of my trust in you as a keeper of this temple. But that does require trust in return.
Yeah, this is beautiful. All right. What have you got here? These are quite well preserved.
These are ancient and given to me in safekeeping by Okosh.
Rolled a 1 on that one. I not familiar with that person, but fine.
If you touch these scrolls or damage them in any way, you will be acquainted with a half-giant cleric of
And excommunicated from the Illysh Church.
Oh yes, you clearly have the authority to say that, was it? Very well, very well, very well. I roll another persuasion roll.
Well, over the last few weeks, this cleric has proven very faithful to his religion, and we have seen quite the wonders. Even though I am not a religious man, I do have to respect the potential this man has.
Excuseer.
Potential, yes. It is rather odd, though, isn't it? Happenstance, perhaps. Or is it indeed divine direction? One can never truly tell. And he jumps off of the stool and walks to the center and walks over to one of the statues and looks up. Yes. Well, it is a little different from my last visitor, I will say. He had similar questions. Similar things he wanted to know from me. Didn't bring a shinier book, though.
Did he leave
Just.
a name? Did the previous visitor leave a name?
Oh, yes, he did. Didn't bring scrolls, brought another trinket. Odd you must all simply mention the place where it came from.
I am being very transparent to show you I am the man of the same fate. Yet, you claim that this could not be divine intervention, yet I am guided by the light of Helios to see past the grandeur of Pelor and find this place holy.
No. Don't do that. Don't bring in Pello. We've already established what they've done to this place, and
Yes, I said that the grandeur of Pelor is trying to push away my own religion.
I know
and I
this.
saw right
I
through
live
it.
this. Yes.
And I see right through it and came to your place. If I really wanted to just see the light, but I want the true light, power, and power of Helios to reach this place, and I can guide it for you.
And so, the chains must be broken.
Agreed. So the sunstones must be found.
Indeed. I don't have one here, if that's your next question.
Not really. I just still need to study this and how this is connected to the chains. And that's why my compatriot, versed in the arcane knowledge, but he sees things that I cannot see in the scrolls, and he has helped me make strides in the scrolls and understand what the chains are and how the sunstones are tied into this. But
Yes.
the only thing I want was the light of Helios to reach the people in need so he can help them.
For
Yes.
instance, if you want
Branch
to,
here in the wall.
If you want to let
Play
the
the
light
game
of Illysh shine, you shouldn't ask for permission.
Yes, but this is a keeper of the holiest place that everybody has forgotten. This feels like the origin of the religion, or at least the last stronghold.
Well,
So respect is in place.
how bright does the light of Helios truly shine in you? And I look at Squint.
Oh. Hmm. What is it? A man such as myself, of diminutive stature, surely cannot be connected as well. Hmm?
You sure can.
I'm just wondering if you are chasing the same thing, and Mr. Boris Fentat was it?
Yes.
I believe every word you've said. I believe your devotion. I believe you are on the righteous path of illumination. Ah. I just wonder why a man not dissimilar to yourself or your companion here, a man of arcane arts, would walk the same threads, the same path, and ask for the same things.
We discovered that there is a hidden arcane pattern behind the scrolls.
And so you say.
How did he introduce himself? This man.
Why don't you say his name first, and then we know?
Does the name start with an R? Or with an X? With a K?
I see this, so there's more than just one. Hmm.
You know two of the arcane interested in the same. If it was a frail old man, then yes, I know he's Rashanidre.
Was it a dwarf?
It was not.
That's also a possibility.
It was not a dwarf. It was a man
Well,
whose age I had a hard time pinpointing. Tall, human, dressed in the robes of our order. But clearly, his conviction and ability was one of the lesser sort. And yet he arrived with no one else in the city seeing him. And so I think...
yes. Then we know who it is. Yes, Rashanidre. He's an old human with the arcane powers, able
And
to move underground.
I will
he-
shape change into Rashanidre Atun.
No, no.
Ah!
Oh, why did you
Is
do
it this
this?
guy?
Mhm.
Yeah, he's a
Ah!
shape changer as well. Don't worry, it's not him.
Yes. I've never seen this man in my life.
Yes, of course.
So it's not him.
The issue is, and that's
it's
why
not
I'm
him.
so protective of the scrolls, is if you're just describing the man, I assume, and my compatriot assumes you're describing, the scrolls unlock the power that he used to kill millions of souls. It unlocks the power to use the sunstones and effectively chain Helios more. The only thing I ask of you is trust in our shared religion, which you have not been really forthright about. I have shown you my hand. I can only show you my fate if you allow me to just sit here in the center of the temple, pray, and try to guide the light of Helios into this place.
Make another persuasion roll, but the DC is going up. Because
Oh, meestal.
you'll be
You're
rolling
rolling like shit, Boris.
Yup.
Ja, maar the first
Yeah,
question is
forget
not-
it. Just force it.
Okay.
Just do your thing. Go to the cleric.
I guess I
I
see that he does.
I think you are blinded by the light you choose to follow. I think you are simply following doctrines and things you think you should. But the man, or the men, or the people that are on this path alongside you, that are ahead of you, that are chasing this goal, they have far more refined their resolve. I think.
I look over to Nolan. Hold the scrolls.
Mhm.
I am
But
not
those-
chasing divinity. I am trying to protect the divinity of my god. You stand in my way. And I take off my shirt, as I did with the
Oh,
howling
you
of the
wanna
ground.
go? Huh? Go on, put him up.
I just ignore him.
Mm.
I walk to the center of the room as I paint the Helios symbol on my bare chest. Do I see something in the center of the room that goes to the statues or not? That there's some kind of connection that connects the 4 statues, or
Make a quick perception check.
perception? Yeah, that's religion.
There is a lot of old dust in this room, and as you step into this circle above this chandelier of a chained sun, you brush aside with your bare feet some of this dust and sand, and you see that leading to each statue, at least you can disseminate from the one position you are in, there is a runed band of symbols that run all the way to the symbols, to these sentinels in the back.
So I kneel above the center point. While casting my voice to fill as much of the room, say the most basic prayer to Helios, whatever it may be. And I cast Daylight right in the center at 5th
Okay.
level,
Okay.
while trying to project it to the 4 statues at the same time.
Okay.
So I don't know what the fuck is gonna happen now, but maybe the Temple of Pelor will explode.
Nice.
Is that what we're going for? Like this one rises up and crushes the cathedral as it moves on?
It
No,
shoots
I'm trying
guy
to
orbits.
activate and understand what the fuck happened here and how the sunstones are connected to it, and those sentinels are connected to it.
Helios
this
activates
Quince
his laser
is
beam
not-
cannon and annihilates the Temple of Baal.
Yeah,
So
the iron
use-
cannon. Yeah.
A view of Illysh, the river flowing, and then just this this shockwave that comes out.
We destroyed another city, did we?
Yeah.
To the next.
somewhere-
Silver City
My
official.
apartment! My apartment! No!
Okay, we're in an underground there. Don't worry, guys. I know what to do. If we blaze satchels here, here, and here, the whole thing comes down.
Gefalo's sipping his afternoon tea and in Greven, and then just
It's like Nolan.
yeah.
Yes, but how do you know?
Okay. So, Boris, make a religion roll with advantage, please.
Oh, that's not my strong suit.
Okay. I'll start my difficulty classes at 5 for you guys next time.
Yeah, it's really. My intelligence is too low for religion rolls, so
Yeah.
I really need wisdom there.
Yeah. I will say sure, because that's intelligence. I would say what's your persuasion here? Or insight +9, so that would be a yeah. Okay, that would be a +5
Yeah,
from
plus
this.
9 would that's 17,
That would-
so
that'd
that's a
be a
lot
17.
better.
Okay. So you cast daylight on top of the chandelier that is already there, or simply at the center?
For as far as I assumed, there are rune strips
Yeah.
running to the sentinels.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
trying to inject it into the center point so
Okay.
that it spreads out, and that there, in my head now, there's daylight glowing lines all over the center of it in 4 straight
Okay.
lines to the sentinels, straight up their butt or whatever, and we'll see what happens.
Okay.
Interesting.
I'm creating an epic scene again. I'm doing it all over again. Why do I?
Yep.
Why do I do this to
And
myself?
when while he's doing it, I want to just look at the runes and see if they. I
I'm
want to
keeping an
read
eye
if
on the
they have
scrolls, you motherfucker.
Yeah.
if they have arcane properties. It's like arcane
Okay.
teleport
So
circle, I don't
you
know.
make an Arcana roll while this is happening. Okay. So what happens is as follows: you see Boris step here, make this mark. You see Squint just going, what exactly? Guys, I know those words too. Everyone can say the prayer, and he like says the prayer alongside you, while suddenly this entire room. You realize there was bright light here before when you were entering from a dark corridor. Now, it is indeed as if you are standing outside on a summer's day at the peak of noon. Everything here lights up and is blinding. Squints further.
Now I get the squint part.
The runes themselves, the dust lifts up, and you see them light up as well. First in a dull blue, but then burning hotter, burning red, as they not only go straight to the statues, but also circle the center. The dust and stone on this center platform disappear, and you see a glass slab. Underneath, there is a reflection of a starry night engulfing this entire area. And above, you hear a groaning. Dust falls off the ceiling. And before you realize, all of you, Nolan, you see indeed the magic interwoven arcana and scripture combined. It happens too fast for any of you to really realize.
Mm-hmm.
Because now Boris is surrounded by 4 tall machines. They have closed the distance in less than a blink of an eye. The dust and rock on them has been broken away, and you see metal, you see colors of red, yellow, blue. You see them in patterns, you see numbers, and you see runes. The wings have fallen off, and you see them as just the decorations that they were. They have kneeled, standing with their faceless head about a hair's breadth away from Boris himself. If this was hostile, you could have done nothing. Boris, you are surrounded.
You did this.
While this is happening, I'll grab a spider that I think is Arioba, probably isn't, and Hey, this is pretty cool, right?
Yes. The spider
Super
bites
venom.
you. Yeah. Like, ah.
Dude!
I'm
Jerk.
like I'm like a spider in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. Yeah. Where are you right now, Dario? Because last thing we
Well,
know, you were on the door.
yeah, but the
Scorched.
conversations were way too fun to interrupt them. What I was intending to do is just peruse the ceiling and I don't know crevices and look for I don't know if I can enter cracks to see what's behind the thing we cannot see because they
Sure.
disturbed it with
So you
their
roll
building.
investigation, and you are in one of these cracks when suddenly everything just becomes light inside the room itself.
Wait, I need to roll investigation with the stats of a spider. No.
No, just with your brain.
No, you're
If you wild shape, you keep your mental
wild shape.
statistics.
Yeah.
it's
so-
Dario,
Yeah, it's that. Yeah.
not Polymorph.
Alright.
Maybe Spider was better.
yeah.
No, it's even worse.
So yeah, you are having a hard time. Like you're in cracks here and there, and you realize that this used to be much bigger than it used to be. What did I just say? Than it was, and I will say you find a pathway, if you want to, up to the Pelor Temple. You emerge in marble close to the altar of the large, beautiful cathedral. The one that's, because you haven't been here, so your spider eyes look and see this massive space with a large glass dome that reflects light everywhere. It is a show of beautiful colored light that echoes through and gets bounced off. This is a show. You see beautiful statues and tales of harvests and the growing of trees and all the tenets of Pelor. As the ground starts to shake, Boris, you see this. Or you are surrounded by these four sentinels. They say nothing, but they look at you without a face. What do you do?
Can you communicate?
They keep staring.
Do I know any words of power from the scrolls? Any words that pop out that would be a command that could be given to a sentinel?
Yes, the work you've done with Nolan. You remember simple phrases, simple commands, simple ways of formulating in the words of the text. Now you, as a player, can of course give me these commands plainly, and you can Boris will say them correctly.
I try stand down.
Again, there is no movement here. All of you watching this, actually, you know what? Observant feat, right? Cassius?
Yeah, I have 27 passive
Yeah.
perception.
I'll allow you to roll on this, and only you.
I roll perception then?
Yeah.
Bam. Wait,
I see
Yeah.
everything.
Oh,
you
heerlijk.
see through space and time itself.
To see
Boris.
everything.
I can see Boris is God. He's sitting right there.
Yeah, you motherfucker. Okay. You're the only one that sees them move. For everyone else, they are just suddenly one step away from Boris. You notice the mechanisms, but also you see that they are covered in a haze when they move. as if they're not actually there for a moment, only to then be there again. They are basically phasing. With a 32, I'll just say they are phasing to the, I would say, not the ephemeral plane, but the ethereal plane. Yeah, ethereal plane. So they stepped instantly. They were a little bit away from you, Boris.
I look over to Squint. Still won't
Squint.
say I'm not a believer.
You.
You see the might of Helios now.
Well, that is what he tried to do. This.
But as a non-believer, he was unable to. What
Hey,
is the
come on.
purpose of this place?
Hey,
What are you? Why are you still here? This place is forgotten in time.
I will add, is this Project Helios where it all started?
I don't understand. I am simply a servant of this temple. I found it. I was brought here. I was healed here, but I don't remember. There was... I was healed. I was...
I reach over and touch his shoulder. Be calm, friend. All is well. I mean no harm.
Clearly you don't.
And I try to channel whatever energy I'm feeling or feeding into this thing. I try to give him the warmth of the energy or make him feel the glow or whatever.
Yeah. He settles down for a moment and I'm very sorry.
Don't apologize.
The man, he forbade me. I cannot speak his name. He did something to my mind. I can't speak of what he did here, or else I get punished.
I will cast Detect Thoughts.
Okay.
Wait, do I have it? Like this.
Do I
No,
sense
I will
anything
take.
magical
It will
on him?
take me. Detect magic. Sorry, detect thoughts. Sorry, I don't have it. Damn it.
Yeah.
Can
I
I
mean, I
channel
have it if
energy
you
or
want.
what? Do I sense something on him?
I would say make an insight check for him. You see that he is properly distressed, and he doesn't seem to be lying about the fact that something was done to him, so he cannot speak.
I cast Dispel Magic at 5th level.
Okay.
On him.
Nice.
All right. Let me just go and check here real quick.
Shit, what?
Well, let me see here. Yeah,
Sorry.
you still need to roll for it.
This is
No,
DC
roll
17.
high.
Wat
Roll
moet ik
high.
rollen? 1 en D20
In the meanwhile,
Yes, sir.
I'm coming down.
All right.
plus Wisdom modifier of
So
Alles boven 10
or
van de
higher,
plattegrond.
make an ability check using the spellcasting ability. DC is equal to spellcasting ability modifier. So just your regular spell attack thing. DC is 10 plus the spell's
17.
level.
Dus
Zo.
DC 17. Ik weet niet wat dat doet. Ik doe gewoon slash D20 en ik zie wat er gebeurt.
Yes,
Doe
sir.
een attack roll. Of
10.
Okay.
En daar je wisdom
And that's
modifier bij.
plus.
5th level, dus dat is al plus 5. En dan mijn Wisdom modifier erbij, dan zitten we op 20.
Nee, jij moet
Nee.
gewoon een roll
Plat.
maken plus je wisdom modifier.
Ja.
Dus plus 5 dan 15.
All right.
Ik ben zo mid aan het rollen. Shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
So let me see here. Yeah, this actually does not have a effect.
So it's higher than a 5th level spell that this is.
Yeah, because he cast 6th level spell, so it's at least 6th level.
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's yes.
Ja, maar dan al, de 6th level, dat is wel al...
I will say, because I didn't read the full thing, you realize that this spell magic does not have an effect on this spell.
Has he been cursed?
I'm going to. Well, as a spy, I'm quite close now, so I should be able to see what's going on or what my friend Boris is trying to do.
Yeah, you see 4 giant statues suddenly in full metal instead of being stone, standing in a circle around the middle. Boris has walked out, is talking to Squint. I will say again, Cassius will notice this. These sentinels are following with they have like a metal plate for a face, but they are following Boris wherever he walks.
I'm going to prowl behind our afflicted priests, I will dispel my wild shape, grab him by the shoulder behind him. Immediately cast. Yeah.
I'm not going to scream as loudly as he does, right? So the moment you suddenly a spider turns into a druid, the moment he is scared talking about this fact that he has been altered, suddenly a elf appears.
Heart attack.
Peace.
Cast greater restoration to remove.
Okay.
Wow. Kost dat niet vrij veel geld?
Ja, 100.
100 diamond dust. Yeah.
Or the diamond dust.
Ah, yeah. Okay, then I will remove 100 gold.
Yeah, I'll say you're in the city.
Dust 100 CP3. Kijk, dus dat is er ene weg.
There you go.
So,
I thought you had it. Yeah. With that, the Gaius spell is removed.
Oh.
I figured.
So now he can talk.
And let me see here.
Nice. Well done.
Hoe komt iedereen dat kent, die spel?
Ik heb dat.
I don't know.
Ja, dat niet.
I don't know the case.
Jij hebt dat,
Little
oké.
spell
Ja.
charmed.
One of the sentinels responds to Dario by chopping him in 3 slices.
Yeah, I just. Well, you don't see him do it. Dario just falls apart in 3 pieces without anyone noticing.
Do I sense the spell lifting on the Dario's action?
So as he's screaming, Squint just huh? And yeah, you see the glow of Dario's of Dario's magic shoot through, and then you see a glaze away from Squint's eyes as he then continues to squint again. I'm
Peace,
free.
you are among friends.
You shall not find yourself limited of speech any longer, my friend.
Ilios has guided. Go ahead.
His name is Kirksarin. He was a man. He looked ageless. He came here with robes of Helios, and he said he was devout and he wished to learn. He came to me and he presented the Sunstone, and he sat down as you did, tried to channel it into the Sentinels, and he said they were ours to command. That the issue, the chains, this is why I had to repair. He shattered the chandelier. He broke it apart just for symbolism's sake. I don't understand what he was talking about.
Peace. He's opposed to Helios. He's looking for divinity through unlawful means.
Well, that's not what
You
he
are
said to
lucky
me.
to be alive.
Well,
I came to this continent to oppose Kixaren.
the reason I was kept alive is so he would know if someone were to come here after him. I'm sorry, my friends, but he already knows. The fact that you've broken
How?
this spell.
Ah, yes.
I look over to the sentinels and I give the command for protect to anyone in this room.
They, again, except for Cassius, do not move. But to everyone else, they stand still. But to you, Cassius, you see them move throughout this entire room. You see them stand inches before you, staring at you without a face, looking. And then one of them, I'll say they return to their position that they were, except for one that stands a little aside from the altar, let's say, and has a hand raised in the air. There, you see a moment an arcane flicker as the fist closes and something dissipates.
I want to burn my lanterns. We have light enough. I won't do it. Damn it.
I'm gonna assume that
Very
was
annoying,
one of
but
those
Camille arrived,
invisible
so
sensors.
Yeah,
my
okay.
whole family is here.
Someone was
Scrying
watching.
and stuff,
That's
right?
last again.
Yes. I've heard of the spell.
I'll assume that was Kuksharian. So
Well,
up
at
until
least
this
he
point,
knows.
he was
If you need me,
aware of
but
everything
I
that
try
happened
to
here.
convey
At
to
least he knows
Squint,
it's us.
I try to convey to Squint that I commanded the sentinels that he's safe, and should he feel unsafe, he should just run to the center of the sentinels to keep him safe.
I'll do that. It's yes. I understand. I am sorry for ever doubting you. You, you must understand. This man, he did come to me, speaking of trying to understand the faith and understanding the words. I provided him. Well, the scripture you've provided is beautiful beyond compare, I'm sure. And he gives like this little sad booklet with similar old, but no, not as old as the scrolls, but it is threadbare. But well, my teachings were not to his liking, and
Moeten we
he
anders 5 minuten
failed.
pauze pakken? Want Janneke
Ja,
is
als ik ga, dan kijk ik me even concentreren. I'll
ik
just
even
say
dag
to him,
zeggen tegen
Squint,
zijn familie en dan...
Yeah.
sorry, yeah, Squint, don't worry. A true believer of Helios believes in learning from each other. You're
Yeah.
among friends now. And do bring every follower of Helios back here to keep them safe. The sentinels will keep them safe.
Yes, I understand. I've really only been a caretaker, a janitor, if you will. But my faith is true.
Moeten we een klein pauze pakken? Want ik net Janneke even...
Yeah, if possible, 5 minutes
Yeah.
break.
All right. Well,
Goed, even
I
plassen.
will mute.
Really
I'll
sorry.
mute the stream for a moment. There you go. 5 minutes. 5-minute break.
Swear
There
word.
we go. Hey, there we
Swear
go.
word.
So, as we
Sorry.
were saying, we banned all the people in the background. As we were saying, you were comforting Squint, who is spilling the beans on Kuxaren being involved. And these sentinels are still following following you, Boris. So what are we doing?
I ordered them to protect the temple. I'm comforting Squint. Squint was telling Kirkserin, and he was not of the faith. I'm opposing Kirkserin. Now I need to get back in my role.
So I will also say that most of you will notice that even though these sentinels have just squashed something out of the air, an arcane device of some kind, the center circle in this temple is still the strange black starry sky as well, and the sentinels are still standing around it.
Quint, what do you know about this glass panel in the middle? Does it ring any
Yeah,
bells? Did anybody talk to you about it?
He moves back to the center. I've never seen this before. I have. Wait, and he flips through his own annotated little booklet, the falling apart Bible he has of Helios, and reach through the starry expanse to embrace him. But I can't quite make this out. Perhaps your version, if I may be so bold.
I look toward Nolan. Would you like to help me?
Reach, yes,
Read
yes.
the
Reach
message.
through the starry expanse. It's
I open the
it's
scroll.
it's the scroll with yes, it's right right
And
over
I
here.
try to figure it out.
Yeah, so you open the scroll and Squintus just grabs the stool again and steps up, and you see the words come. And there is indeed a passage to reach through the starry expanse, to embrace the light. To embrace the light from the point of origin. And you see these other verses that you now have learned are commands. And Squint just looks and is that decorative? This is nice etching to it, but it doesn't really quite. It's not in mine, but it's the same words, isn't it? Yes. Well, very nice, but I was expecting more wisdom.
This is Arcana in its rawest and purest form.
Yeah, that doesn't sound very good. That sounds dangerous.
I
walk
think your
again.
goal might be dangerous.
I walk again to the center of the room and inspect the start of the runic sentences where I cast my spell. Do I see anything special there? Anything that would fit a hand, for instance?
I will say make an investigation roll with advantage. Or Arcana, which I think is the same for you.
Does this black mirror remind me of what we saw on the island, the strange devices I have, and the black mirrors we saw a long time ago in the near the moderate, not the, or yeah, in the caves in the
Underdark.
dark, on the dark.
You make an Arcana roll as well.
I try to reach through the center.
Yeah. So, Boris, you see the runes that are alighting on this black mirror, but it is not. Well, it is glass, but the darkness that you see is a expanse, you see a starry sky, but below you. So it is not, in sense, a mirror that you are being reflected, although maybe a little bit as you reach your hand towards the glass to trace it. Nolan. No, this is new in its own right. This is very much the application of what you have seen in the scriptures. You can see that this, well, this might not be an illusion you're looking at.
Here, Kenny, do I recognize star patterns?
Yeah, I wanted to ask the same. Are these the constellations of our planet? Do we recognize them, or is this a strange guy?
Make a nature check, the both of you.
That's
why do you always
Hey.
intelligent?
Well, easy enough. Yes. But it is indeed the night sky. But it is day. Above, at least.
And it is below us. Is it? Could it be the night sky on the other side of the planet? Is this a lens through the planet? Through?
You haven't rolled high enough for that one.
You're only a dwarf. You're only a dwarf.
Reach through the starry expanse to reach the point of origin.
I mean, what is a planet if not a big pile of stone? So shouldn't stone go anywhere?
Yeah.
I'm gonna
That's
try
still
and
good, you're right.
Hmm?
see. As a druid, I'm quite often outside under the starry sky. I want to
Yeah.
see if there something. I mean, we have to. You said it's ours. Well, our constellations, but is there something off about this one?
You may also roll nature. I'll give you advantage on that.
Yeah.
15?
Nolan, jij rolt vanaf nu alles. want ik
Yeah,
hoor
you
al
have
die
to ask me
namen.
stuff. You have to ask me stuff.
Dario, I will say you are indeed amongst the stars most of all of the people here. For Boris, you look towards the sun. You do not look towards the stars. Dario,
Is that why Squint is squinting? He looked too much at the sun?
he literally has been staring at that chandelier all time, yeah. So his eyes are gone.
It's the only thing he can do around here.
Poor
Op het
guy.
moment dat ik daylight cast en hij begon hard te squinten, dan had ik de mop door. Maar
Ja.
de Robin is nu ook squint aan het nadoen, denk ik.
Yeah, it's just, come a little closer, would you? So, Dario, with a 15, I will say that, yeah, you notice something, because of your lineage, because of elves, long-lived as you are, the stars that are taught by your elders are sometimes from older scriptures. This is an old sky. Very old sky.
I've seen this. This is old, Boris. Just as anything in this place is old.
I assume that this dates back to the origins of Helios. It's if you look at the scripture, reach through what did it say? Reach through the starry expanse to reach the point of origin. So everything points to this being a point of origin.
Yes, but I can't make out the point of origin amongst
I
these
will-
stars. I don't understand.
I will touch it with my finger.
Okay.
Point of origin or just the...
No, the slab with the stars.
Okay. You feel cold glass and the vibration of Boris's magic. And what is Nolan thinking right now?
Well, Nolan was thinking. Nolan was remembering when he was back on the island. There was a touchpad, basically, and he was thinking maybe I can use. Maybe it's just another touch-related thing.
Okay. And do you try these motions or are you only thinking them?
Yeah. I'll try, see if something works.
Okay. So you trace your finger trying to find some kind of response, and your finger leaves behind a trail of light on the glass.
Ooh.
Can I draw a penis on it?
No.
Time to penis reached. There you go. It's only been 3.4 seconds.
That is the point of origin of all of us. isn't it?
Yes, exactly.
Can you try to connect the stars and
The
maybe
Dungeon Master
make the
takes
symbol
10
of
points of
Helios?
psychic damage.
I was thinking the same thing, Dario.
Is there
Is
a
that-
constellation for Helios that I know?
Helios is the sun. It's only the one star.
But is there a symbol we draw around it or anything that we connect to it? Is there anything in the scrolls about connected systems from Helios, from the center star?
I'm sorry to do this to you, but I need you to roll another religion or history roll. I'm so sorry. Play the game.
Know your own
Yeah.
religion, man.
17 is not bad.
But you need 20.
I do ask Nolan to help me look, because I'm...
Well,
No, you rolled.
At this point, I'm looking as well.
okay. So I will say, Dario, I'll allow you as well. I'll say, yeah, religion or arcana.
Well, I'm just figuring out a way to connect all the stars as to make the symbol of Helios.
So
So
the thing, yeah, so I will say the thing here is that the expanse projected here, it is three-dimensional. It goes deep. Tracing the stars, so it's basically a pit that looks out into infinite space. It's not, you're not capable of tracing it here. You know that you can draw, you can do something there, and the trail then slowly dissipates.
I will physically reach through the starry sky. My arm.
All right, you hit the glass with your hand.
I put my finger on Helios, on the sun.
Well, the sun is not present right now.
Mhm.
It's only small stars and an old sky above this world. And you can trace things with your finger if you want, so please.
Can I look up and I see the chandelier, so I assume that's the sun. So can I try to draw in the air a line between a few stars that I would deduce the distance about?
No, I think because the sun is indeed, so again, try to visualize. The sun is above.
Yeah, that's the chandelier.
Yeah. Yeah. Below are the stars.
Uh-huh.
And you had arcane writing in between the verse that says to reach through the starry expanse.
I reach up.
This is why I don't
Through
do
the start-
puzzles.
Yeah, I know through the story expense, to me, the logical one is down, but
Yeah.
that's glass, so I can't reach it. So either I shatter it or I have to reach somewhere in the.
I mean, you have holy magic. Can't you just magically reach through or something?
Ja, dat is het enige dat ik nog kan doen. De magie dat ik voel.
The whole thing came to life when you pumped in
Cast light,
holy
yeah.
magic and light.
I just tried to channel the holy lights to my hand and reach through. That's the only thing I can think of.
All right. When you place your hand again, you see the imprint of your hand leave behind a trace, a input, let's say.
I write Helios. I write the key phrase we got: reach through the starry expanse to reach the point of origin.
Okay.
What was my password again? Damn it.
So as you start writing, the writing remains.
I finish the scripture that's surrounded around. I write open in the command language for the sentinels.
Okay. So, first of all, where is everyone at the moment relative to this thing? Are you all at the center? What's going on?
I'm very close to Boris.
I'm
Yeah,
beside Nolan.
Watching what happened and watching
Okay.
what's happening. Yeah, close by.
All right.
Hey, dit duurt veel te lang om met de dokter. Die
No,
daar veel voor moet
I
bedenken.
have an idea. Yeah.
Alle, moet ook wel goed rollen natuurlijk.
So, you write open after citing the lines. The 4 sentinels are suddenly now again in the center. The one that was standing there with its hands closed now reappears at the center. And then again, there is no transition. You are now looking up at the night sky. And below you is a blinding light.
I reach for it.
You adjust yourself a little. All of you are looking all around you, except for down, is only darkness and stars. The 4 sentinels stand around you still. And below you, through cracks, you see only fire and light. There is a structure here. A large, long hallway to the front and back of you. The 4 sentinels are embracing you from a distance. There is a force field around you, a protective shield. There's cold metal on the ground, and all of it mechanical. Much like the island, but less refined.
Do I
What do
see
you wish
any
to do?
light at?
Hmm?
Do I see any light at one of the sides of the corridor?
Oh, the Pope is going to be so angry.
So, in terms of scale, this doesn't really enter your mind. You don't understand for a moment what's going on here. The corridor in front of you doesn't have a horizon. It looks as though it's going in a slight curve downward for thousands of miles. You are standing in a structure that itself is indeed a corridor of some kind, but it is higher than the sky and lower than any cliff or mountain you have seen from a distance. It is a massive structure of impossible scale, and you are standing as a mere ant on one of its segments.
Do I remember reading in the scrolls a command for transporting us to the center?
You can speak those words, and
Yeah, okay.
yeah,
I command them to bring us to the center.
okay. You are lifted as the little bubble around you lifts all of you up, and the 4 sentinels move as one in a direction. First slowly, but then faster and faster. As everything moves, scale and distance lose meaning. As you see this massive structure seemingly revolve around you, there you come to a point where, again, the black sky behind you and stars in front of you, this blinding light that you have to only briefly stare at. There is an altar of some kind. And Nolan, this looks all too familiar. This is technology, not arcana. And all of it written in the language of the scriptures. Boris, I would like you, again, I would say make a perception roll for me.
Just an FYI, I am able to read all languages.
Oh,
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
hell, daar ligt er net
Okay.
op mee.
Yeah.
Er ligt er net op mee.
You are in awe. You have no idea. You feel closer to your deity than you have ever been. But all of this is still new to you. As you see Nolan slowly approach this place, the bubble around you breaks, and this room that is presented, it's all made of glass and steel. An inlet in this, again, massive corridor that you see expand beyond comprehension and scale, ever slightly curved. Nolan, you see this terminal, as it's called, and you are presented with, again, a glass slab facing this impossibly bright light. Even though you are not being burned, you see the shielding around this room. It changes, it morphs, it compensates for the power that you are facing. There is a console.
Is there an on and off button?
You approach it, and runes start to light. It activates at your approach.
What do I see? Specifically, just runes.
You see Yes, arcana, structural things, things meant to keep this thing going. It is rather mundane and even somewhat primitive in its design, but the magic still holds. This is all operational magic. But you are presented with, again, a glass slab. And Boris, you see him approach this and see... You see sacred verses light up this console.
I try to open the discussion with Nolan, as we have done over the scrolls.
Yes. Well, I will take one of the scrolls, or I will take the scroll and compare what's written with what's on the screen.
It's all identical. You,
So
yeah, you are here. And I will say, as you both slowly approach, you will see words appear on the glass slab. And in the words of the scrolls, in the language of the scrolls, it says, "Can I assist?"
I look over
Een
to
kleine
Nolan.
paperclip dat dat vraagt.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I look
I
over
am
to
Clip
Nolan.
E, the
I
god
look
of
over to
Helios.
Nolan and ask him, should we ask about the sunstones if we can destroy them?
Yes. We are willing, I say.
Okay. So I try to ask the question by inputting the right command.
Okay. Almost as soon as you've given your input, I will say that you see the text appear. And it says, "Sunstones are power sources to the tethers. Creating a tether uses the sunstone."
Sunstones are the anchors to the tethers.
So creating a tether uses the sunstone.
Is there a way to stop a tether?
That is inadvisable.
Do tell.
Currently, the protection is at an unacceptable level. More tethers must be created in order to provide full coverage.
And I will quickly write, who is this?
You don't get a response.
I will ask, what is Project Helios?
Clearance level required.
Hieronymus Bartal.
There's a flash. A light shines across you, Nolan. Unable to verify identity.
Can we use gourd?
Oh yeah, I will shape change into Geronimus Bartel. To his side, right?
The statue in Graven,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good idea, man.
DNA meet.
I will approach it and say Geronimus Bartel.
So you approach, the light shines over you. And God, we have a menagerie of people here. You immediately don't hear a response, but you hear a siren. Oh, oh.
Uh-oh.
Unauthorized entry of incursion detected. And the sentinels suddenly step forward, and then it stops. You see a lot of text crawl over the screen. Error aborted. No incursion detected. Welcome back. And then you see the name of someone, but it is garbled and corrupted.
I think we should be careful with this line of thinking, Nolan. Can I ask about the tethers? Are the tethers draining power from Helios? Or what do the tethers do? Let me ask that.
You ask that?
Yep.
Okay. You see a moment of information, and I will say, at that point, you see a diagram. You see the sun. You see your world. And I hear an alarm going off at Martin. Okay, he's about to explode, so that's fine. The timing is impeccable. Absolutely.
What a session.
Yeah. You see the sun, you see your world, and you see chains around this world, around the sun. But are they chains? They are structures. They are rings constructed. And there you see lines being drawn to the world to transfer the power of Helios to the world. When you say drain, then the answer is yes. But it increases stability against incursions.
Boys, ask them where can they be found?
Can what be found?
The sandstone.
The what? The sunstones.
sunstones.
Can you give a location of the sunstones? A current location of the sunstones?
You see a map appear with 5 locations. But 3 of them are in the exact same location. And 2 more are, well, one would be um would be in Nosor, and the other one would be on the continent of Xene, in the center, the area called Paragawata, in the location of what once was called the Holy City. At the dead center of the continent of Xena.
Okay.
And what are the three? Location we know.
The other three are currently in Pardur, in the center of the Somor Plains.
That's where the Kriegshaven is.
That's where we're going.
Okay, I need to find a way. Is Helios still alive?
At that, the terminal that you're standing on falls away. There's no words. Everything goes blank. And for a moment, the place you are at shakes. The metal groans. An incredibly low tone rumbles through this entire area. And Boris, you see this light before you, this wall of light grow ever brighter to the point that you have to strain and it starts to hurt. All of you will take 11 27 points of radiant damage as a blast wave of arcane of divine power shoots through you. The console before you lights in white fire, and the screen, there is in every language, in all languages you know, the word help. The sentinels move forwards and block the screen, blocking it from your view. The other one punches through the screen and breaks it and rips away the console.
No!
And they step forwards. And then stand there doing nothing.
I give the command for return.
They slam down and the world gets turned upside down.
No,
As
Bobby, that's
you-
too early.
Fall away on the ground in the temple of Helios, underneath the temple of Pelor in the city of Illysh. And the sentinels return to their place
Okay.
and hold up the ground. Your daylight spell snuffed out, and the ceiling, the floor below you, no longer a starry expanse.
good thing is
What's that?
the hallway is way too small to get a palanquin through.
Palanquin?
You were yeah.
From the
He
Pope.
wasn't there.
The
Oh yeah.
pillar pope has a popemobile. A palanquin of
In the
sorts.
city of Illysh, apparently, there is a device that monitors planner travels. It
That's the
went off.
incursion.
It went off twice when Gord's mysterious being left his body and joined him again. This must have been quite a big ripple, I believe.
Yes, probably.
And the Pope does not like it, and it's right beneath his church.
Yeah.
Funny. So, Boris, I'm confused.
Mm-hmm.
Help. Does help mean, hey, increase sunstones, make more tethers, or destroy all the sunstones, so there are no tethers? Which means that this world is no longer protected against extraplanar incursions.
I asked Squint for some paper and pencils.
Squint is standing there going, "Where did you go? I saw a momentary black flash and then you weren't there anymore."
We went
Oh.
to a holy place, but I really need pencil and paper to write down
Yeah,
and
of
to
course.
explain something.
Or I think we'll...
And he
So
gives you some paper and pen.
I resketched the diagram we got. Do you have a map, perchance, of the world? We need to mark some locations. You have keen mind, right?
What am
Nolan?
I, a library?
Yes,
No.
I have keen mind. I was
Okay. Okay.
I
will
was
it go-
paying extreme attention to every detail to be able
Forget
to write it down.
forget the map. So I sketch out the situation. As far as I understand, Nolan, what is happening and what we learned from the scrolls is that we can use the power of Helios itself to even create dark, evil things. So for as far as I understand, the channels are funneling power from Helios, the sun, my gods,
Mhm.
to Earth to do acts on itself, and every sunstone can activate another tether.
Yes.
For some reason, they want to lock up Helios, but we don't know or don't understand why. Is it to just abuse his power or protect against planar incursions? I don't understand. But for as far as I understand, my gods directly asked for help because the tethers are probably destroying him or draining him of his power.
Well, two of those stones are, well, one is in Nosor. The other one is very far away.
We have
Well,
three in a
and
location where
three,
we don't.
yes.
How more do we want to give to Kirkserin?
But the three that were together, we didn't see where they were.
Yes,
In the
they
summer
were
place,
in
huh?
Pardur, not too far from Molosso.
The
Well,
place
still a
you-
few days, still a
Pardur
few days
Central.
travel. It's
Pardur.
actually, yes,
Oh, that's
Pardur.
yeah.
Yes.
That's
It
very
is where
close.
we're
That's not a
going.
coincidence.
That's, well, Kirkserin has them. We know Kirkserin is gathering them. So this must be where Kirkserin is. Or
Is he
has left
collecting
them.
them all? Because we could set a trap at the next location.
What we deduced was that he is trying to free the god but become a god at the same time. Yes. Well,
There is one in Nosor, and the other one is far, far away. Hmm.
Nosor. What is Nosor?
It's
What's
above my
happening in Pardur?
bushes.
Oh,
North.
there.
How I like to go there.
That's where Gord came from, right?
Yeah, and Blackness.
Yeah. There was so much still left to ask, but I'm afraid we destroyed our chances to.
Yeah, it was
I
an
have a
accident. You
lot of
couldn't have known.
questions, by the way, but I'll just ask them like.
I'll
after dinner
also
or
allow
something, I
all of
guess.
you to make a general intelligence roll for me.
Ability check or saving throw?
Ability check.
General intelligence.
No?
Nope.
Thanks for playing, everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I have too
Wow.
many questions.
You guys are stupid.
Yeah, Nolan. I will do so. With a 16, I will pose you a question. Why did the Sentinels destroy the terminal after Helios asked for help?
Oh boy, fucking hell. Now I've. Oh. So we asked, is Helios dead? I assume not, because
Yeah.
I got an immediate response by being burned alive. Then something broke into the system and asked for help. And that's when the Helios Sentinels intervened.
Yes.
Yes, I don't think we were talking to Helios.
No. The system that's collecting sunstones.
But the help
more-
message was probably from Helios.
No,
Yes.
why would the Helios Sentinels
think
destroy
so.
the terminal?
Because
Because
Are
Helios
you?
is
the
being,
Sentinels
is
are
being
corrupted
tethered.
or hacked or. But I
Helios
think
is
the
being
help.
used as a power source to keep out
Yes.
Yeah.
incursions. Because the
One
system
ginormous
was
block.
like, we need more tethers because we need to guard against planar incursions.
Yes.
Boris,
So
how true are these Sentinels to Helios?
Do I know this? Because I just assumed they are Helios's extension or the might of Helios constructed into. In theory, they're just constructs made with the scrolls at the highest level. It's what I can deduce, I think.
Oh boy.
I
If I'm
don't
not
think they
mistaken,
guard
Mr.
Helios,
DM.
but they.
I don't know much about religion, but I'm assuming from all I'm hearing that the religion of the Helios Church is not really serving Helios, but is drawing power from them.
Oh no,
Not.
there's a difference between the religion and Project Helios.
Science.
I'm just saying this thing. We are here, one of the originals.
I can harness the power of Helios because I
Yes, you can.
give prayer to Helios. I give devotary to Helios.
Yes,
I
there is a
spend
person.
my life in his thing. But what Project Helios did, what we saw in the diagram, was a way to extract the power from Helios against his will.
Yes.
The fact that the screen was asking for help and they immediately destroyed it so that we could
Yes.
not do anything
But I
means they do not want this thing
yes,
to be
but why
helped.
are these sentinels in one of the ancient churches of Helios?
Because Helios, his power was used to fight the demons, slay the demon.
This is not really a church, is it? This is not
It's-
really a place that celebrates Helios, where we're in, are we?
We saw the technology we've seen before. This is ancient. This is science, arcana mixed together.
Boris,
Why
is
is there?
Helios a god? He's a god of light, but whatever else does he stand for? Does he stand for technology?
Not that I know of.
What are his tenets? Is he all about? His core.
Goeie
What's his
vraag.
domain?
Yeah,
Man,
it
both
is
righteousness and so. No.
yeah, light, life. Most of the things that Pelo stands for, but sort of took over.
That's the question I was asking myself right now. Why did the religion of Helios disappear? And why did it probably happen after Project Helios and the tethers were made?
Yeah.
Why does nobody want to know about this god?
So he's
Because people,
only been imprisoned by this technology, and these
tethers,
sentinels. yeah, these sentinels look more like the technology that would bind him than instead of his
Mhm.
personal angels. I don't think these are creations from Helios.
No,
They
but
are
what
part of Project Helios, which might be the enemy. Then
that's what the scrolls teach us. The
Yeah, because
scrolls taught us we can use at the investiture of life energy from a lot of people. We can basically create things like these. This used to be people that have been transformed into something otherworldly.
Yes. And I have one other question. Gord, why did the system trigger when it looked at you?
I was
Or why did
changed into Martel.
Ah,
yes, was it your
incursion.
form? Was it
Yes,
your
well,
form that triggered it? Or
yes.
did it look deeper into you?
I have no idea, Dario.
I think you were using its powers to shapeshift. The moment you use its powers, I think energy is transferred to you, which is per definition an incursion.
It scanned me, but it's just a
Yeah, and it recognized you as
small
from
magical trick.
So we can
what
Severnus.
deduce
Severnus. Yeah.
that you're the person is holding your soul and
Oh fuck.
Helios are two colliding powers.
Or it was just a failsafe.
No, it was a failsafe
So
for
it wouldn't
incursion.
be cheated like very easily. Maybe it can detect shape changing, something simple as that.
No, I think God's powers at the moment they are coming from another plane, another realm.
Severnus.
Each time you funnel your powers, you're actually
Ah,
performing a small incursion. And this is
incursion is another. Right.
incursion is something that comes from another plane onto this plane. That's an incursion.
You mean like the 2 times it went off earlier today in the
Yes.
temple,
Gore
which caused the
transforming.
whole kerfuffle?
Dario's gonna walk back and sit on some sort of bench and like this is not for me. He's gonna let you do
Cassius
it.
sits down right next to Dario.
This is not for me.
So you say
Must
you've been
say-
through this once before?
You must say, Cassius, we are interesting, aren't we?
I'm gonna be honest, my first thought was, oh great, we're in another dimension. And I wasn't really that surprised anymore, which was
I
more
told you,
concerning than it should have been.
I
And
told you, you get used to these things.
no one is
Still,
Yes,
this
you
nervously
shouldn't.
no one
this
is
was
nervously walking across the room, seeing a lot of dots and not seeing the lines connecting
Mhm.
them.
Boris
I
is
noticed that,
sitting
and
in the center in silent contemplation.
I'll
Mhm.
say to Dario, like, the thing that scares me most is Nolan doesn't appear to understand what's going on. That
yes.
worries me.
Yeah.
Gords, I will say that because there's a detail you guys might have missed because it's been so straightforward. And I won't let you guys roll for it because I do want you to know the detail. And you've been rolling shit, so forget about it. After the incursion was triggered, after the alarm went off, it suddenly stopped. And Gord was allowed access not as Barthel, but as a name that was garbled. A name that was not to be read.
So
Ah,
Ante was the key. That was
Ante.
what got us in. Oh yeah, that's a good detail.
That's
It's an important
okay.
one.
So it's
because I was thinking
Helios.
the other way around.
It's in the
so-
database. Is Ante split into Helios and Ante?
Don't
Is he not
mention the
whole?
name too much.
My brain just exploded.
Ah,
I
more
don't
to
get it
clean up.
anymore.
We have made a mess already.
Oh boy. Well, it's not like it was very clean when we entered, was it?
I need to learn Draconic. Kalendla is the second smallest in this room.
We
I will
We have
grab
to-
my photographs and try to, with this connection, try to trigger a memory.
Okay.
A memory of this,
Ah.
what we just saw, and anything Helios related.
Okay.
Oh, I think we were talking to Ante. He was asking for help. They didn't want help. And do you remember when we were on the island and there was a bunch of text on the platform? This was also towards another plane, and there was someone asking, "It's been ages. I am cold. Please help me. I want to
Cleverness.
return." Yes, but that's his, by definition, Ante's feelings. He wants to return.
I think someone mentioned we should be careful with names, and you are spouting out a name.
It's literally
So
he's
are-
standing next to us now. I mean,
I'm still
When
names
into
of
Gorn.
power. I've been taught.
So the tethers are used to stabilize the incursions
To protect
From-
against incursion.
from Severnus.
or elsewhere, I believe.
My
I
brain
would
just stopped working, sorry.
say,
Yeah, my.
Gord, you flip out the photographs and look through them. Make an insight roll.
Die één dat ik ooit verkocht heb, dat gaat een cruciale foto geweest.
No, that was Ante with Situé and holding a books explaining their plans in the war room.
Okay.
We rolled well.
Maar zo rolt jij. Het is-
Ja,
Valt
It's not that
door.
hard.
I'm
hè,
not
you-
to
you-
blame. I'm not to blame.
Valt door, Robin. Valt door.
You find 22. Okay. Fuck. It's a reveal day. You flip through and you find about 5 or 6 where Sith is on the pictures.
Yeah, that's what I was going on next.
And well, most of them are they're working on things or designing things. 22, huh? There is one where Sif is holding her hand up in greeting and going like, hey. You see her go, hey. And the picture is taken by someone who was not really taking a picture of something of her, but of two people working at a table, and she's barely in frame. And at the very edge of that picture, there is admittedly a very large, tall figure. You see just a tree trunk of an arm in the corner of the picture, and what looks like a military uniform. That's all you see of him. But that's the man you've seen crouched with his back turned when you had your visions.
Robin is
Ja.
thinking.
I will convey all of this. But wait, the man I saw in my visions.
The one who protected you when you came back.
Yes.
And
There was a creature that walked away from
connects-
you.
that connects to Helios?
Project
Well,
Helios.
Project Helios.
Yeah.
Yes.
Project Helios was, as I know,
Yeah,
was a
Peppa.
science project hundreds of thousands of years ago.
And what the island we were on? That was. had
It was a
something to do with
research
the-
area
yeah,
related
before
to Project Helios, and a
The target.
project which I think Tenes wanted to abandon. Someone retreated from it. and then someone else wanted to pursue because there was great power. Mhm, mhm.
The question that comes in my mind at the moment. The tethers, do we break them or not? Do we unchain the power of Helios and only allow the true believers to access it?
Yeah.
Is it something we should
What
evaluate?
are the incursions and what are they protecting with the power of Helios?
I think
We
I'm
might.
okay.
I'm not confident. We might be dooming the whole world by doing this.
I need some contemplation about this.
Yes.
I will spend a few hours here in silent prayer and study of the scrolls.
And I need a long rest. As well as Gord also in.
Yeah.
Maybe we should end the session here because we're hitting 11.
Yeah.
Everybody's like,
What
goof
the
out.
fuck?
Yes, what the fuck?
Hey, you know what?
Of the year, but
It's fun because this Illysh
I
shit has
saw a
been
puzzle.
like always on the side. And
Yes,
then,
I know it was super important,
but
no,
yeah,
I
no, but
thought
you never. This is the thing. This is the first time. This is Illysh. This is the capital. This is
Yes.
where a lot of this shit is. And what better place than here? So yeah, it's all oddly enough. There is a coherent storyline here, right? But it is fun to
somewhere deep down.
Somewhere.
You just have to.
We will never find it because we're all
Literally.
shit when we have a puzzle.
I have an idea.
listen. I provide you with entertainment, assuming a
Yes.
certain level of intelligence, because you're trying to figure out the puzzle. I can't make it simple because then it's just like, oh yeah, it's
And at the end, it was simple. It was just right open on the fucking screen.
You just need to do.
If even the Fellowship of the Ring can be stuck in front of a door where all they had to say was friend,
Melon.
Melon.
I
yeah,
think we can excuse this. Huh?
exactly. Like I didn't even want it to be a puzzle. It's like, oh look, you can write commands on the fucking thing because it's an input. Like it's like a fucking
Yeah, the Sentinels threw me off there.
See, now, I
Yeah.
don't understand anything that's going on because I haven't been through all of this, but you guys
Yeah.
have, and you don't understand it either. So I feel
I can
Ignorance.
tell you a secret.
Ignorance
It's
is
the
bliss.
first time. It's the
Be
first
fair.
time we've been through this.
but not
Yeah, at
this,
this
but like
point, I don't
I
think-
remember this like from on the island, and I'm like, what island?
Boris like,
What?
hey Pillar, can you hear me? How about we just start something? Fuck Helios.
yeah. What the fuck's Speller doing there, huh?
Say, Boris,
Anyway,
like,
you
how
go.
attached are you to this Helios character? Because like Pillar seems like, honestly, like they seem to be very
I
interchangeable.
point to the tattooed Helios crest on my chest.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Pillar
Yeah, see,
is
now that's
fun-
why I really have to be sure about tattoo.
Helios for life.
Ja, Pillar is gewoon krachten aan het stelen.
ik vermoed
Nee,
het logo dat ik
Helios.
nu getekend, het symbool dat ik nu getekend heb, dat gewoon in mijn vel geëtst is momenteel, met dat ik er 20 points of damage voor heb gekregen.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Jesus.
It's yeah, that was well. With that, I shall end the stream there and leave you all to your suffering. Haha.